Alright, this is our Hugelkulture, or at least the beginnings of it. What we have here is actually the remnants of a downed tree into 4 piles. The tree was right over there. We still have one big piece, and it actually had some metal in it, so I couldn't really cut it. I actually did cut into the metal a little bit with the chainsaw, but managed to save the chainsaw. And my life, I didn't get cut up or anything. But I cut this into what I thought was going to be manageable chunks, and I like this piece here, that was too big. It should have been half that size. It looked like down at the bottom there I was kind of trying to make it half that size, but I did move it into place. So what we'll do now is we'll try and kind of, chink in along the bottom there and pack it in with some more debris, some leaves. We actually have some grass clippings out here. What this area was, if you can picture these 4 piles here, 2 years ago I tilled it up, not realizing that this was actually a low spot in the ground. We get the sun in the morning there, and all day we get nice exposure to the sun. So this was a great spot for a garden. The problem is we have this pond here, and I don't know if you can see the grade, but it's actually lower than the pond. Now, if I would have had some common sense when I did this, I would have realized that I was just going to be tilling up muck, basically. But what I ended up doing is leaving it here for the past couple of years. Well, this tree, during the hurricane, it was, yay big. The top fell down, and the rest of it was rotten. So we had it cut down, and then I cut it up and moved it into pieces. I moved it into rows like this. We got 4 rows, and what we're going to do next there is put it in with the clippings and the other pieces of debris, and then fill it in with something that's nitrogen rich, because what's going to happen here is it's going to break down. Even though for the most part this is already pretty rotten, and you can actually see it just kind of sponge off. That's actually excellent for what we're trying to do, but it's still going to be sinking some nitrogen out of the soil, which is obviously bad for growing, because nitrogen and green things correspond to each other quite well. In fact, that's what makes them green. Part of it. And so we got to fill it in with probably horse manure over the top, and then a little bit of dirt, and just let it sit over the winter. I have a theory about this, that this row and this row are going to do the best next year. So I might even not fill that one in, since it's going to take a lot of manure and a lot of dirt, because it needs to rot a little bit more. The bottom of the tree was actually fairly healthy. You can see a little bit of rotten spots, but it may not even be good for growing. So if I do cover it up, maybe next year it's just a cover crop, and it's something that I turn over just to get the nitrogen on, and the other rows will focus on those. And then this was kind of the leftover pieces here, and this will be harder to fill in, because you can see, like, I can reach all the way down to the ground right here. So that's got to fill in with leaves and compost, and then a little bit of manure and dirt, and should be good to go for next season. Pieces here, and this will be harder to fill in, because you can see, like, I can reach all the way down to the ground right here. So that's got to fill in with leaves and compost, and then a little bit of manure and dirt, and should be good to go for next season.